Hey people, we're back. Happy Monday, or whenever you see this video. All right, we're back. We're talking about our next chapter, as well as a couple other things in this intro. Of course, this week we're looking at Chapter 11, Strategy and Integration in the International Firm. This is a fun chapter. We're kind of transitioning, from a bunch of other topics relevant to international management to really some hardcore topics that all international managers should be aware of. So we're not talking about the economy, we're not talking about the financial system and the International Monetary Fund. We're talking about what international managers actually do. Excuse me. So it's a good chapter from that standpoint. One of the things I really liked here in discussion is about a couple things that were covered. One, visionary leadership, what it means to be a leader versus a manager. I had a great experience over the last 3 or 4 days. I accompanied a student organization, the Collegiate Entrepreneurship Organization, to our national conference in Tampa Bay. We heard from some great leaders. For example, we heard from one person who had been involved with a convenience store. His brother had first started up. They had one store when he started. Brother said, let's do 10, so they did 10. Brother said, let's do 100, so they did 100. And then the brother retired and went to Florida. And he's been able to grow that company to 600. Initially, when his brother left, things were falling apart. He didn't at that time realize the importance of leadership, setting an overall strategic direction for the company, and making sure the culture supported that growth. He was a good manager, and he could run a store, but that wasn't sufficient to grow that company from 100 to 600. Heard from another entrepreneur who had grown a computer company and recently sold it for $750 million. And that was really fun also, talking about the value of leadership. And one of the topics here we're also covering is organizational culture. So both these individuals talked about when they're hiring people, they don't hire for the skill set of that person. The first thing they look for is whether that person's, whether they'll fit into the culture. So when you're reading that organizational culture section, think about that as one of the primary reasons that people in charge, people who grow stores from 1 to 600 or from 0 employees to selling an organization for $750 million, this is the most important thing, whether that person's going to fit into their organizational culture, whether they'll bring someone onto an organization. So it's equally important in international management as it is within entrepreneurs. So another thing we'll cover is the integration responsiveness framework and the strategies associated with that. And then we're going to nerd out looking at organizational structure. I'm actually a gigantic fan of not necessarily reading about organizational structure, but for example, in the university, we have an organizational structure and observing the strengths and weaknesses of that and how it works out. So organizational structure is gigantically important, whether you realize it or not, and whether you enjoy reading it or not within Chapter 11. So there's a closing case about Lenovo, a Chinese computer manufacturer. We're going to spend a lot of time. All of our current events is covering, almost all of the current events are covering Lenovo and the international strategy and integration activities of Lenovo. So good stuff there. Hope you enjoy it. A couple of things. So I haven't graded the integration essays yet that you turned in on Sunday, but I'm going to get to those. But one thing, first I want to congratulate you if you're listening to this video. You're a survivor. We have had a surprisingly large number of students drop out from this course, and I think the ones that are left are actually doing an excellent job. So congratulations. You should be applauded for your great work in making it to this point in the class. I'm happy with how people who are still in the class are doing. However, I am concerned that so many people dropped out. I don't know if it's just that they were expecting a multiple choice organized class where you show up every 3 or 4 weeks, take a multiple choice test that you may already have the answers to online, and then that's pretty much it. So I believe that online classes should be rigorous. They're not a cheapening of the educational experience. And to do well in this class, obviously, there's got to be some work involved. So I would actually appreciate feedback from anybody who might want to provide it on how this class is going for you now. And one reason I'm asking for it now is I'd like to know what's working for you, what's not working for you, and we still have 3 or 4 weeks left in the course and the semester, and we can make changes based on the students that are still left in this class that have shown their ability to learn and progress and the interest in doing stuff. So I would appreciate any feedback you might want to provide. Shoot me a quick email, what's working, what's not working. That would be very helpful in what we do over the next 4 or 5 weeks, and also redesigning the course the next time I may teach this. So all that kind of stuff would be helpful and much appreciated. All right, as always, I'm available. Shoot me an email. I'd love to meet with you face-to-face. Done that with a couple of you. Hopefully that's helped you get on the right track, and enjoy the week.